I don't think it's true that we need to suffer to wake up. I think it's really common. I think most people don't look until they start suffering. But waking up to our true nature, enlightenment, illumination, they come from looking, not from suffering. It's just that most people don't look till they start to suffer or till they've suffered long enough. You know, people will always say, it wasn't until I hit rock bottom that I looked. But it's always struck me as a sort of a false equivalence, because essentially wherever you were when you stopped falling is what you'll call the bottom. So it's the bottom because that's when you started looking up instead of down. It's not really that anybody hit bottom. So I find the stories of people like Krishnamurti, who by all accounts didn't particularly suffer, he just woke up. Of Sid Banks, who, okay, he didn't have a great life, but he certainly was not, wouldn't have been even a qualifier in the Olympics for most miserable life, who woke up. And there are stories even in Zen traditions of people who just were born as monks and kind of raised as monks and quite happy as monks, who suddenly woke up. That it doesn't seem that suffering is an essential part of the process. It is often a part of the process. And again, I think the reason that it is because it just does not occur to people to look within, to look away from the form when the form is pretty. It's only when the form isn't. So I've been doing this work in one form or another for 30 plus years. And I have noticed over the years that the easiest places to share, the places where people seem to get it quicker than anywhere else, are the bottom of society and the top. So people who have nothing, it's usually not a big ask to tell them, hey, what happens if you look away from the world as the source and you look within? They're like, oh yeah, that would actually be great. Because if it's out there, I'm screwed. Similarly, people who've got it all, who've achieved it all, who are at the pinnacle of what we think of as success or achievement, they've seen that what they're looking for isn't in that. They've seen that it isn't that they can have all the money in the world and still feel less than and still be worried. I tell the story in one of my books of the $600 million man, a client I worked with, who made it very clear to me that he was worth $600 million, and said, every day I wake up and wonder if today's going to be the day when I lose it all. People who kind of have figured out that more achievement and more money aren't going to do it are very open to looking within, to looking away from the form, to looking towards this formless nature before the creation of all the stuff that we try to accumulate to be happy and successful. All of us in the middle, and I very much include myself in here, unless we are almost forced to by our own suffering, we think, yeah, but if I just had a little bit more money, yeah, but if I just lived in a nicer place, yeah, but if I just had a little bit more, yeah, but if I could just find somebody to love me or a better partner, that I could get my happiness from the world of form. And so in the middle, suffering sort of drives the switch in direction, but it doesn't have to. Like if I had, I don't want to call it a mission because it's not a mission, but if I had something that I would love to contribute to the world, it would be to show people that they don't have to suffer to see. They don't have to suffer to look in a different direction. They just have to look in a different direction. And they will see, because what they're looking for is there.